what's up guys? So, I want to show the knee cut pass, and I'm going to talk some common mistakes that a lot of people make. So, if I have Todd going down, when people go for the knee cut, I see a lot of, like a big mistake, scoot back a little bit. I see a big mistake that people make, and this is the first one I put in the beginning of the video, is not addressing the inside wedges of the legs. So if I try to pass this guy's guard, I see a lot of people controlling the knees and then trying to knee cut, or knee cutting without getting a control. So if I try to just control the knees of the feet, and I just go like this here, this knee wedge is always gonna be an issue for me. Even if I grab the inside of the knee, and I try to go like this, me keeping this is not a very strong grip for him, or for me to be able to stop that leg from coming in. My hands, like my arms move too much when it's all the way down here. So every time I pass in, his knee's gonna be here. Why is this knee an issue? Now I could always choose to pass from here, but it's not the knee cut, it's a shin cut, it's a different pass. So when I'm meeting this, he's gonna push me away with this, and it's gonna allow a space for him to guard and cover. Go ahead, push me, comes back. So to counter that, is why it's very important when you do go to knee cut, that you own the real estate underneath, okay? My elbow, my arm here is slightly bent, and I'm using my like elbow forearm area as like a wedge to kind of keep his legs spread apart. My other hand can go on the knee here, because he's not bringing this leg up. It's this one that I'm worried about. So if I keep this wedge, his only way to try to defeat this wedge is to circle his knee under and back in, right? So that's the only thing he's gonna do. So if I'm gonna hit my knee cut, like angle, and like I have to stay low, then my knee comes in. I'm very low here. So now he tries to put his knee in. He tries to bring his knee over top. It's not gonna work. I can fight this, I can keep my positioning. To finish the knee cut, I shoot my underhook. My head goes down, same side. I get my overhook, I address the arm. I slide my hips in. I walk my butt back. That turns his hips. Then I go to my knees. Okay, watch that pass again. So, we go back to here, and I'm gonna explain every detail why we're doing it. When I come in, I get my grips and don't let his feet make his control. Stepping to the side, pinning, inside wedges. I'm getting these inside wedges of his legs. Boom, I'm down low. Once I get this angle, my foot steps over, my body stays low. I shoot my underhook. I dress this far arm. My head stays same side. If my head comes up, it's not bad, but I better be sliding my hips out, because if my head comes up and my hip is on him, he's gonna shovel sweep me. He's gonna scoot underneath me, go ahead. And I'm off balance, and then now I'm getting rolled over. So if my head comes up, I better be sliding my hips out. Okay, meaning I'm just sliding into the side control. The next thing is, the second part of mistake that people make is this underhook. So if we pivot this way, when you go to pass the guard, some guys, they don't get this underhook. Yeah, you see how Todd shot that underhook? It's a very smart counter. So whether he put that underhook there, or I just simply didn't get it, and I just kind of laid here, kind of loosely. And so if I just come in here and I'm not worried about that underhook, now I find myself in a situation where I'm gonna do one of two things. I'm either gonna have to try to rely on a headlock, which is not very bright in jiu-jitsu, it's not very smart to do this. I'm gonna try to rely on a headlock, or I'm gonna have to rely on my pressure on his arms and kind of laying back. Can you get away with them? For sure. But it's a whole lot easier if you just do the move correctly. So if I find myself here, the reason why I get that underhook is this underhook, even though I can keep my weight on him, that's a way out for Todd. So he's gonna be able to get to his knees here and either A, wrestle me, or B, end up taking my back. Usually if I try to square up with them, it's gonna be a wrestling position, go back up. But if you find, like a lot of newer white belts do this all the time, where they try to headlock. And as they come through, Todd pops his head out, he shoots that underhook, and then it turns into a back take, and I'm like, oh man, what's going on? So you see a lot of newer students do it all the time. And I mean, I do that to a lot of newer students. Every time they come in, I time the underhook, I let them knee cut, I shoot the underhook, and I either take the back or go to a wrestling position, right? So first mistake, we're not creating any inside wedges of the legs. You need to create an inside wedge of the legs. Second mistake, we're not shooting the underhook. Third mistake is not addressing the near side wedge, the near side frame. And when I come to shoot it, I can do everything right. I have my underhook, I have the inside wedge of the legs, but if I don't address this guy, don't get me wrong, if he doesn't know how to use it, I'm gonna beat him, okay? But if this guy's very smart here, and I wanna beat him, if I take this guy and I start going for his head here, this wedge is gonna make traffic, and it's gonna make it very hard for me to get to my knees. I'm gonna try to come back in, and his knee's gonna be able to tuck right back in there, and at the least, he's gonna get the half guard. So that near side wedge, I need to control. There's a couple ways you can control it. If you pivot this way a little bit. So once I come in, I like this guy. the whole little pass series. We can hit off of that with the fundamentals pass. But once I come in with the inside wedge, boom, I step in them low. I shoot this underhook. My head's same side so I don't get rolled. Before I decide to pass through, I want to pull this arm up. I want it in my armpit. I don't want to pull it up like this, because though this may stop the inside wedge, this does not stop Todd from rolling away from me, okay? So I want to keep the arm tucked up. Now Todd can't roll away. He can't take my back. He can't frame and push me away. Todd lost right here. Now when I go to pass, my hips come out, and now I'm not done. Because if I decide to get to my knees, his legs are gonna come right back in again, and I'm gonna have to battle this game again. So before I decide to get to my knees, I walk my butt back. I turn my body, look, my hips are facing away. I'm using my lower back to him. I'm sitting scarp hold. I'm keeping this arm under control as much as I can and walking my butt away. See how that turns his legs? Then I can come up into the side control. So watch from this angle. One more time. So I come in, pass down, I come in, I get my pass, I shoot everything, I address this arm. You can get away with pinning the arm. I do like to do that, because sometimes pulling this arm up is very hard. So you can get away with pinning the arm, but the idea is I have to do something to the near side wedge. I have to kill the near side wedge, or he's going to be able to create space. Fundamentally, we're always taught here. You pull it up. I slide my hip in. I don't turn to my knees. I walk everything back. Everything walks back. That's turning his hips away from me. There's no way he's guard recovering. There's no way he's rolling me over. There's no way he's wedging me away. Then I can turn and come back in. So that's the basic knee cut. And there's some common mistakes I see a lot of people make, is they try to just shoot the knee cut. Now, does it mean that they won't work? No. Like, dude, a lot of things work. A lot of things work when you miss details too. Like if you're going against the wrong guy, or if you're going against a guy who's not very good at jiu-jitsu, you can do a lot of things wrong. A guy who's never trained before, you can get away with a lot of stuff. If you're very athletic, fast, and strong, you can get away with a lot of stuff, but that's not jiu-jitsu, right? We're not trying to be fast and athletic all the time, or strong. I want to use proper frames, proper structures, inside wedges, and be efficient in all of my movement. So, knee cut pass, try these details, let me know what you guys think.